You don't have to like me for you to take care of me. You understand? We can say, white people pay more than us, we as black people. Even you, my sister, sometimes you even cry and say, I want this, can I have a discount on a specific product? And you say, me, I can't buy something like that. I'll go rather buy there, it's cheap. That mentality alone, you understand? And I hear what you're trying to say, like, you are not coming from a different point of perspective. My sister, you'll be surprised.
And should we give political power to a white man since black leaders has failed us?
Absolutely. We absolutely should give political power to the DA. In fact, when the DA was announced to be part of the GNU, important for us to give the DA power. When the DA was announced to have been part of the GNU, the RAND showed an improvement of 45%, just on announcement. Remember, it was just announced. They hadn't done anything. They hadn't stepped in political office. They hadn't assumed any ministerial positions. Just on announcement, It just shows how positive the markets view the DA. And also, when we look at the track record of the DA, people might argue that in Khayelitsha, in Mitchell's Plain, the people over there aren't living as well. However, when we look at the performance of Cape Town, when we look at the performance of the province and compare it to other provinces, the DA leads every government. It leads any government institution by far. I mean, of the top 15 best run municipalities in South Africa, 14 of those 15 belong to the DA. Clean audits. How many stories of corruption have we heard from ANC run governments, from ANC run municipalities? How many times have we heard a municipality that went under administration, a municipality that was bankrupt, that they couldn't pay their employees? Have we ever heard that in the Western Cape? Let's be real. So I think we South Africans need to move away from this colorism, and we need to move away from the past, and we really need to give those that are competent power to take this country forward. Thank you.
So are you blaming black people that they failed, as I put it, or you are blaming the ANC? Is it black people or is it the ANC? And why do the comment section hate you so much? Two questions. Are you blaming black people,
okay,
or you are blaming ANC? And also that was the first question. Are you blaming black people or the ANC? And also, why does the comment section hate you so much?
Yeah, and number one, it cannot be black people, because black people are also found in the DA. The Deputy Minister of, I think it's Water and Sanitation, is a black man with a master's degree. He went to my university. Actually, the large majority of the voter base of the DA belongs to black people. This notion that black people don't like the DA and the DA is for white people is absolutely not true. A lot of people, myself included, vote for the DA proudly. And whether you hate me or not, it's none of my business. I don't care. I really don't care. I vote for what's right. So I think it's the ANC. I think it's the policies that they've taken. I think it's the direction that they've taken, which hasn't been fruitful for the entire country. I wouldn't say it's black people. I would say that and there are also white people in the ANC. So I wouldn't generalize like that. I'm also a black person. I don't think I'm incompetent. So no, I wouldn't say it's black people. I would say it's the ANC, and really, I think we need to give the DA power. Viva DA, viva. I think we need to paint South Africa blue.
So Reds, have you forgiven the white people for what they've done to us?
Absolutely. White people created UCT, the best university in Africa. White people created the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital, the biggest hospital in Africa. White people, made us win the Rugby World Cup. We have a former UFC champion, a white person. White people made Cape Town. White people made Sandton. There's so many positive things that I can say about white people. Negative things too. There's also many negative things that I can say about black people. Black people aren't perfect. I mean, Shaka Zulu was unaliving us. Shaka Zulu, when he was expanding his Zulu kingdom, he unalived a lot of people. Why is nobody having that conversation? Even in apartheid, the IFP was siding with the apartheid government. Why is nobody having that conversation? This whole notion that black people are perfect and black people are angels and black people can do no harm, I think it's a notion that needs to be challenged. Right now in South Africa, which race is committing the most crime? Let's start there. I've never seen a white person, I mean, show me a video of a white South African hijacking cars. Show me one, just one. I'm not asking for many. I can show you 1,000 videos of black South Africans hijacking. Show me one. Who's oppressing us right now in terms of crime? Yeah? My people, me too, I've been robbed by black people. Let's have that conversation. So no, Chief, the DA needs to come to power. We need to put color aside. We need to look at the numbers. We need to look at the performance of parties, and we need to put the right people in positions of power. This thing, this thing of
No, but
we need
but Reds, them Zungus do not hijack. They do not analyze you in the night. They hijack the whole country. They analyze the whole country. So look, if black people they steal on a smaller scale. They steal cars. They steal sheep, goats. But them Zungus they steal the whole country, bro. The whole continent. So why would you compare our corruption to their corruption? Yet when they hijack. They do not hijack a building, they hijack a continent. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, thank you very much. The whole thing that white South Africans steal the whole country, I don't know where that comes from. Obviously, most companies are owned by white people, and these companies employ a lot of black people. These companies pay corporate tax. These companies give a lot of black people bursaries. I remember when Alan Gray, when he passed away, some of the people which Alan Gray helped, some of the people who worked in high positions in his company came to speak at his funeral, and they spoke about how Alan Gray gave them an opportunity and how they were able to change their lives. This whole notion that white people steal, I think it's racist. I know a lot of good white South Africans who really want nothing but good in this country. Let's look at Capitec. How many black people is Capitec servicing? How many people work at Capitec? How many people are in managerial positions in Capitec? And Capitec is a white-owned company. And then you take Capitec and you compare it with VBS. Let's have that discussion. Because Capitec was created after apartheid. VBS was also created after apartheid. What happened to VBS? Was it white people? Let's have that discussion. This whole thing of always blaming white people, really, it needs to come to an end. It really needs to, it's getting old. So,
who should we blame? Who should we blame? We were oppressed for 400 years. We are free, so-called free for 30 years. But right now you are saying we must not blame white people. Are you crazy?
Yes, I'm saying that we should find solutions. I'm saying that yes, we were oppressed. I'm saying crime is an issue in the country. Who are committing the crime? It's black people statistically. So should we ignore our own brothers who are oppressing us, who are making our lives impossible, our own brothers who enter our homes at night, and should we ignore them and blame the white man? Like, how does that make sense? The corruption in government, the corruption in the public sector, that's done by our very own.
I think the panel has questions for you. Let me give it to Premium, then I'll give it to Sivelelwe. Then I think people will have a lot of questions. Premium again.
You know what's so funny, and I've been saying it, Brother Star, for so many times when I'm here, that many people here are so articulate, but sometimes they fail to make logical sense. And some people of us may not be so articulate as them, but sometimes things are very simple. And what farmer's daughter said, I won't answer to everything right now because there's a lot. What farmer's daughter said, which people didn't understand, is that most of African countries are colonized and are still colonized today. Even if you don't find many Mzungus that don't want to live there, no one would want to live in DRC Congo when there's wars and everything, when their lives are at risk, but they will colonize by trading with them unfairly, taking all their resources every time. They use a middleman to get all of what they need. Now, who's to say South Africa and Africa and all the other African countries would have not been better without the Mzungus? What is actually better and what is worse? Do you think because we have buildings that we are not in poverty? Because we have fancy buildings, you think that we are rich? Are we rich when we don't have the resources, and some resources are not free, and then we have to buy them at higher prices? The inflation just got to 3.5% now, with the Reserve Bank, with the white people also working on that, with other nations working on that, with Asians as private owners are on the Reserve Bank, but still the inflation is 3.5%. To who's making that 3.5? And the gap when it comes to poverty, the 10 or even 1%ers or 5%ers are owning the majority and are at buying powers, but meanwhile the 70% or so or 80% is not really buying anything. The groceries that are deflating, but then the money that is inflated when there's a buying power. So who's buying that? Who's causing the inflation, which we are not even receiving? And then now, it's funny that sometimes when the inflation is up, the interest rates should be down. But now you find that the interest rates are so up, are even at 6.5% at times, are 5.6 at times in South Africa, but yet the inflation is not going down. And you say this is a good country. Who knows, with our dongwes and whatever we used to build huts in, we will live peacefully, and we would have been more creative right now. Clean Africans, we would have been developed and also traded with other countries to make better structures. China, do you think China needed the Mzungus when they built their structures? Weren't they living peacefully? Weren't they clean? Because we were enslaved. We're not only colonized, we were enslaved. We are deprived of many things, and now the structures are not welcome to be, so that we can even grow at this economy. We have to buy everything on the market. We will have to have few centralized farmers that we depend on. No one farms, no one does anything, and then land is getting scarcer. You see with the RDB houses, which were not only built in our era as black people, the government right now, it was also built in the apartheid system, where we would have RDB houses, which we had fewer land for us to grow or do anything. So it didn't start even now. And the resources were not so many. I remember as a young boy, the first thing when that resembled electricity was a battery. It was some sort of a car battery to light up a TV and all those things. We lived without electricity. We used to even use paraffin and all those things. So electricity was not common for black people, even in those RDB houses. It only became common in the mid 90s to many African residents. Also, there's so many things, even the roads. I know there's a place called Dansane here in Eastern Cape, in East London, where you find that even many roads now, still today, there is no tar road there. So now they will blame the black people and this economy, and they will say that we are not doing enough, we are corrupt and what so on. Meanwhile, their corruption was way above our imagination. But it's just that we saw these beautiful structures in Hillbrow and all these places, and we thought this is a beautiful land, and it was made by the white people and what so on. But meanwhile, if it were to be in an upper scale, they would also struggle to meet the needs of the masses of the whole entire nation. Slowly but surely, which is, I'm not saying that ANC was perfect. I'm not saying that ANC was perfect, but I believe that domestically, the DA will take care of you and give you the bare minimum, as they always have done. And then they would, geopolitically, they have their own interests, and they are very entrenched in the international stage, that by the time you know it, we would have been the modern day slave. And it's not about white people, it's not about black people. They are the elites that will do what they want to do while controlling even their own people. Even the white people will also be controlled by the elites, because they want what they want, and they want the things to be how they want them to be. So it's not even about black versus white, but you'll find that commonly the white people want to be the Democrats, the Westerners of any country they populate. So I'm saying, sorry to say that the Reds is very articulate, but he spoke about a bunch of nothing, because he's not addressing that political that has to come with voting for white people, and also how would it be integrated to black people? How can we trust them that they will take care of us when we also see geopolitically international issues that they will favor the Israelites instead of the Palestine? So if ever they could do that to them, what would they do to us? If ever they're doing this independent whatever, Cape Town and Western Cape, what will they do to the rest of the country when it's all said and done?
No problem.